And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Kyle here, and it is Saturday, and you know what that means. It's time for the toy news, action figure news of the week that interested me, that hopefully interests you in a busy, busy week this week. Tons and tons of toy news on a holiday week. I can't believe this, but we know we're gearing up to San Diego Comic-Con. We're in the month of July now. It is just a short couple of weeks away at this point, and you guys know I'll be there live in person, breaking it all down at San Diego Comic-Con this year. So if you're out there, come say hi. Can't wait to see what we see out there, what releases we're going to carry us throughout 2024 and into, of course, 2025. Should be an exciting time, San Diego Comic-Con. So make sure you subscribe to the channel for all the coverage here in the next couple of weeks. But of course, before we get into all the toy news, and I'm looking at it, we got 2 full pages of toy news this week. A lot to talk about, so grab a drink. We're going to have to settle in for a long video right here. Before we dive into that, we got Patreon. Of course, Patreon, the month of July. The month of July giveaway. Brett Hitman Hart, Walmart exclusive, Ultimate Edition. This will be the giveaway for the month of July over there on Patreon. Appreciate all the support for the Patreon members. Of course, a lot of stuff. You're going to see weekly purchases tomorrow. A lot of videos to do here as we gear up for me leaving for San Diego Comic-Con. If you're a Patreon member, you get weeks, days, months, years ahead on videos, as it all does go over there from both YouTube channels. Tons and tons of content every single day over on the Patreon. One-stop shop for everything. So check out the Patreon. You might even win a Bret Hart. Who knows? And we're going to give away the Young Bucks this weekend on the channel. So Patreon members, look forward to that video here in the next couple of days. So more on that very, very soon. But Brett is the Patreon July giveaway. Appreciate all the support on the Patreon. Appreciate all the support on my book. Complete Jakks Classic Superstars book. I did have extras from Barnes & Noble edition hardcover that I was autographing, selling. Got to give a shout out to everybody. Totally sold out of those. So I could get another run of those. I guess you guys would have to reach out to me if you want that done. A little bit cheaper than Barnes & Noble is what I am selling those for. So if that is your thing, hit me up. I think I got 2 copies of the soft cover still. So if somebody wants a soft cover, you can reach out to me for that one. Or go to Amazon or Barnes & Noble, whatever you want to do. Choose your own book adventure. Read them if you want to. Use them to put up a bed, whatever you need to do. Hey, it's your book, your rules. That's the way it goes. Looking forward to maybe a Kindle release here, maybe in the future. I wanted to do the hardcover paperback edition first, Kindle down the road. Maybe a little sooner rather than later, so stay tuned for updates on that. That'd be a good copy to have on the go if you need. If you're at a toy store or something, you pull it up and you want to go against the list, whatever you need to do. Choose your own Kindle adventure if you want to, or ebook, whatever you want to do. It is your adventure after all. And who knows, maybe another book or 2 or 3 or 10 or 20 in the future. You never know. You have to stay tuned to the channel, that's for sure. But now we got to get down to some things. Of course, 4th of July week this week. Hopefully everybody survived with all their fingers. Dangerous times with the fireworks, and we know that firsthand, or I should say I know that firsthand, as I did go to a fireworks event on the 4th of July, like most people do. Went to the lake. Oh, beautiful at the lake this time of year. No mosquitoes out. It was just a good time at the lake until Mark Summers and Todd McFarlane took over. Of course, on the couch, good friends of the channel, Todd McFarlane. Wiggle those toes, Todd. There it is. See you at San Diego Comic-Con. I did get an invite to the little Todd McFarlane party, so more on that to come very soon. Can't wait to see that. You can give Todd a big high five, maybe a hug too. We'll see, because you're not hugging me from the couch. There's a distance here, but Mark Summers here as well. Of course, Double Dare's own Mark Summers. But I did go to a fireworks extravaganza on 4th of July, and you two were there, and I didn't know this until you guys walked up to me. We're sitting in the lawn chairs. I was drinking a lemonade. Oh, some fine lemonade on the 4th of July. And Todd and Mark, you guys walked up and said, "Hey, buddy." And I said, "Dudes, what are you guys doing here?" And you guys both said that you were in charge of the fireworks show, which I thought was really strange. I was like, Mark, I thought you were doing your one-man show off Broadway. Todd, I figured you'd be in like Phoenix somewhere out in the middle of the desert hunting scorpions or drawing pictures of Batman or Spider-Man. But no, you were here in my hometown at the lake doing the fireworks show. So I was very excited for the fireworks show. Until then, disaster struck. And should I show the footage, guys? I don't know if you want me to show the footage. Well, we'll show the footage. This is Todd and Mark handling the fireworks at the 4th of July show.
is insane.
Whoa, look at that. You guys really knocked it out of the park in more ways than one doing that fireworks show. Absolutely insane, insane. You guys just kind of messed up and just lit it all at once. Oh, Mark Summers saying it wasn't a mess up. What? Todd McFarlane gave him the old-fashioned double dare, and you lit every single one, Mark? It was you at fault? Yeah, Todd's sitting there, he's pointing at him, but he's pointing with his big toe, as Todd always does. So Mark Summers just said, you know what? All guns blazing like a young Judas Priest, just let it go. And, you know, it wasn't the baddest thing. I love a big show like that, but you got it all done in about 2 minutes. So a lot of people around were pretty much yelling and screaming, this is the worst fireworks show ever. You guys, since I'm good friends with you guys, I think it was the best show ever. I was here for it. It was a little dangerous, a little sketchy. It gave me flashbacks to my time in Nam back in the day, but it was all right. It was all right. It was a good job out of you two, and I hope you both had a good 4th of July. Hopefully everybody else had a good 4th of July, but now we got to get down to the real business here, Todd and Mark. We got to get down to the toy news here. And let's start it off. Let's start off with a little recap from last week. We had to give the old whoa, 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 stop the clock last week as the Steiner brothers were officially announced in the Ultimate Edition line as a ringside collectible exclusive. Use discount code Kyle, save 10%. Very cool to get the Steiner brothers, but you gotta soak it in, drink it in, man, like a young Chris Jericho over the last week. Are they perfect? Maybe not, but I always reserve judgment until they're at this very table in the future. Sounds like around the holiday time, maybe November timeframe, we'll have those. Have to imagine we're going to see those at San Diego Comic-Con, so very excited to see that. Love the Letterman jacket there. Of course, you don't have the M. Somebody said, well, the M's for Michigan. And I'm like, I live in Big Ten country. I know what the M is for. And they said they couldn't do it because of legal reasons. That is very obvious. You can't do that because of legal reasons. However, I'm sure third-party companies out there, they're going to make little M's to stick on there. They will, that's a license to print money for those kind of things. Should be pretty cheap, pretty easy, but you need the M on that Letterman jacket, but we totally understand it. Same thing with Jakks Class Superstars with Rick Steiner. They couldn't do that. But very cool, very interesting in the head sculpts. Like I said, we'll reserve judgment, but man, I'm excited about these Steiner brothers. Get me more Steiner brothers. There's a lot of looks from the Steiners that we need in Elites and Ultimates, and I'm here for every single one of them. One of, if not, the greatest tag team of all time, depending who you ask. I'm here for all of them. Give me all the Road Warriors while you're at it. Give me all the Demolitions while you're at it. We'll see what happens, but anxious to see San Diego Comic-Con on these Steiners. Also saw the Vader regular and Chase edition, of course, Target exclusive coming. I love big wrestlers. I love Vader, another heavy hitter from my childhood. Here for the WCW one all day long. A lot of people are going to want this one for that WCW World title belt, which we've only got with Ron Simmons way back from the Hall of Champions line from Target. There you go. Target loves that belt, apparently. But an old school belt from back in the day. I think this Vader is a good one. Wish it had the Mastodon helmet, but not in the cards here. But he did get a cape. Of course, celebrating Lando Calrissian this 4th of July with cape season as usual. But very excited for both of those. So more on those. And I'm imagining San Diego Comic-Con will see those live in person. Can't wait to see those. How about a little ringside collectible exclusive this week with Jeff Jarrett. Oh, Double J coming in hot. We are getting his first figure from AEW. Very cool packaging design, very cool. Jeff Jarrett, possibly you could very much make the case that one of the guys, the most underrepresented in action figure form based on what his career is. And we're getting a few here as of late. We know Zombie Sailor has one sometime, maybe 2025. We'll see what happens there. But this will be our first time around the sun with a little Jeff Jarrett from Jazzwares. And man, I'm here for it. Packaging looks good. Once again, ringside collectible exclusive. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10%. We also saw AEW Unmatched Series 10. Kenny Omega, Brandon Cutler, 1 of 3,000. I don't know if that'll upset some people or not, or if that is, like we always say, maybe it sounds bad, 1 of 3,000, but that's all that would sell anyways. And the 3,000 sticker on there might help him sell out. Who knows? We'll see what happens with that one. And of course, you got the Young Bucks to go along with there. You got Adam Copeland, first time in the line as well, the former Edge in AEW. And then Adam Cole returned to the line. He is also going to be the rare edition, 1 of 5,000 Chase Rares. We know how that goes with that. So AEW Unmatched 10 around the corner, sooner than later this year, that'll be there. But moving on from Mattel, moving on from Jazzwares, moving over to Power Town. And Power Town is an interesting line. We always have a lot of fun with Power Town around here. Slow recap over the last couple of weeks announcing a different figure. Well, since last week's toy news video, they did finally close out the set with Medusa, and oh my gosh, putting out the fireworks here with Medusa. She's ready for the 4th of July. Very chesty in this Medusa figure, as we can see right there. Very deep cut, kind of, sort of. She's saying, what up, Mach, is what she's saying there. That's kind of her time, I think, with the Macho Man, Miss Madness, that whole era. So an interesting Medusa, not what anybody was expecting. I think most people were expecting an old school AWA, Medusa Mussolini, whatever she was, way back when. That's when I was first introduced to her as a very little kid on ESPN. But an interesting one, a deep cut, and a little bit, one thing is not like the other, and we're not just talking about female wrestler, first time in the line for this, just a little bit different look to this Medusa figure than I think we expected. But of course we know JYD's in there, another standard, love the blue pants on him. Kamala, the Ugandan giant, watch out for him. Jack Briscoe, of course, a Hall of Famer if there ever was one. You got Dory Funk Jr., possibly my most wanted action figure of the last couple of years, finally getting a figure. And then Wahoo, who? Wahoo, that's who. Wahoo McDaniel coming to the line as well. Pre-order open right now, so get your order in right now. And they didn't say when the pre-order ends. Have to imagine it'll go up for a month or two. It's weird how Powertown never says, hey, it's closing, pre-order's closing this day. I don't know if they figure everybody's just going to wait till that day or what the move is there. But either way, pre-order open right now. If you're after those Powertowns, head over to Powertown, of course, and pick them up. I'm very excited about them. Hopefully we get them this year. I don't know. We'll see what ends up happening there. But we got to move on to a few other things. We're going to move on to a little retro style figures over to the Grapplers and Gimmicks line. Old Mitch over there on the 4th of July put up a picture of the Macho Man in the red, white, and blue colors. Wondering if this is maybe possibly a San Diego Comic-Con pre-order exclusive coming around the corner. We'll see what happens there. But it would make kind of sense that we are in that time frame. But we did see that coming. And then we saw the Regime line once again, and we got the Godwins coming. So we know we got Gangrel, we got Al Snow, we got Tony Norris, a.k.a. Ahmed Johnson. Now we got the Godwins. Who's the next one going to be? I would love to see 6 all come out at the same time. Just do it like a regular release wave. I think that would be pretty cool. And I would like it if he would do 1 set a year. You do those 6 once a year, and next year you got another 6. Maybe that kind of thing. I don't know if we all like the kamikaze onesies. It's kind of nice on the wallet, but it feels like you're just constantly getting ding, ding, dinged. I would like just, here's a set of 6. There you go. We'll leave you alone for a year. We got these retro figures now. I don't know. Business plans are all over the place. Little of this, little of that. But excited for a Macho Man. Excited to see what's going on as I'm really enjoying the Grapplers and Gimmicks. Did you see the Wildman Mark Marrow ×3? And then, of course, the Canadians, Quebecers. Check out those amazing, amazing figures. I was really thrilled with those. Can't wait to see what these are in the near future, so stay tuned for that. We saw this week a surprise drop from Heels and Faces Zombie Sailor. We got Sandman, a surprise drop of the Sandman, limited edition, not totally sold out as of filming right now, but a very cool one. It's all coming up Sandman as we did unbox Sandman, his latest Elite on the channel this week. Man, check out that review. An all-timer, that one there. But not to be outdone, figure collections. We talked about their Colt Cabanas ×3. I still need to order those. I need to order the Father Jim Mitchell. I need to at least get one of those. Man, it's just starting to get too much. You can't buy it all as much as you want to. And I know I buy way more than the average Joe out there. But man, even me, it's tough to keep up at this point here. Really would like those. Just got to wait for a rainy day, I guess. We'll see what happens there. The figure collections did show the Patriot again this week. Sounds like that one and Marcus Alexander Bagwell. Pre-orders coming very, very soon, probably by the end of summer. So we'll be on the lookout for those. We also got Vlad, superfan Vlad. I'm on the fence on this one. I wouldn't mind buying a damaged card or maybe a loose version of this if it's a little cheaper to save some money. I don't know if I need Vlad the fan in my collection. I don't know. We'll see what ends up happening there. Maybe there'll be a deal. Got to get a deal. We know how that goes as well. But we're not done with retro-style figures. We got the old Matt Maniacs. We talked about them last week. We got the LOD. We got the Steiners. Looks like it's going to be $120 for all 4 of them. Nice box display on these. Very, very good-looking figures. A little video gamey looking in the head to me. That's kind of what I akin it to a little bit. But I do like these. Of course, once again, LOD, Road Warriors, Steiner Brothers. Mount Rushmore tag teams for me. Must-have pickups. $120. A lot of people kind of on the fence on the price, especially for an unproven product, new product. So we'll see what happens. I guess I'm going to be a guinea pig. I'll take the charge. I'll have to pick these up and see what all the fuss is about. You know me, I'm here for the fuss, be it good or the bad. But can't wait to see these in hand. Be interested to see where they go from here. who's next in this line. But first, I guess we got to get these in our hands first. So stay tuned. More on that in the future. But then, of course, Epic Toys, they do have a black tuxedo version, Bobby Heenan. We do got that latest series going up for it's up for pre-order right now, so pick that up if you want to. But we did see the Bobby Heenan. That's going to come after the next set. So we're going to have 2 Bobby Heenan retros around the corner. Greatest manager of all time, and you could easily make the argument the greatest wrestling personality of all time. That is a must-have pickup. Love Bobby in the black tux. Bring me back to the days of the Bobby Heenan show. If I could do one thing in my life, I would have a talk show like the Bobby Heenan show. That would be amazing. How do I get this done? Is there any cameraman local to me? Is there anybody that wants to film it and do it all? I got comedy writers. I got a good friend of the channel, Midwest Professional Wrestling legend Gage Octane. We'll get there. We're going to get the jokes together. We'll get some guests. I'm ready. Somebody get me a cameraman. Somebody get me a cameraman and editor. Come to my house. We're going to start filming the Kyle Peterson show is what it's going to be. And it's going to be amazing. It's going to be off the hook. We'll see what ends up happening there. More to come. Sure, why not? Why not? But we got Bobby around the corner. But next up, you know what Jerry Reed always says. We got a long way to go and a short time. We got a short time to get there to San Diego Comic-Con with San Diego Comic-Con wrestling exclusives. We saw this week officially announced Big Rubber Guys, Nature Boy Ric Flair, 1 of 1,000 Bloody Edition. I love a bloody figure. I love Ric Flair. I love my guys big and extra rubbery. I'm all in on this one. Might have to pick up 2 of these Ric Flairs if I could be so lucky. These will go up for order during San Diego Comic-Con week, so stay tuned to that. But a must-have for me. And this one opens it up to with this Ric Flair. You can easily see this coming back out without blood, changing the trunks color. Voila, you got a new Ric Flair figure. You got to get the most out of your molds. You got to think that's coming in the future. Maybe not near future, but the future you would think. But give me this Ric Flair. I'm here for that. And then to a lesser degree, I'm not a Bendy's guy. I've never really been much of a Bendy's guy. But we do got Macho Man Bendy, 1 of 500. Be a man, Hulk, all day long. One of the greatest, not one of, Mark, the greatest rap album of all time.
You're running from Macho, that's what I heard. Be a man, Hulk. Come on, don't be a child.
Be a man, Hulk. That's what I'm saying right there. I remember my kid's last day of school, I pulled up in my Wrangler, pulled right up to the front door, and I blasted that. I wish I had a camera on that one to see the horrific look on my kids' faces as Be a Man, Hulk was blaring through the speakers. Oh, man, I think I have to have that just because of that. I might sneak it in my daughter Elle's room, just put it on there, see how long it takes her to notice that one. But that one's a 1 of 500. We'll see how fast that Macho Man sells out. But we're not done with wrestling exclusives. We talked about this the last couple of weeks. Officially announced this week, 1 of 1,000 Bloody Vampiro Masked Republic Legends of Lucha Libre. Got to pick this one up as well. We'd really like 2 of these. Looks really good on card with the blood. I feel like I need it on card, and I would like to get a loose one. Will be on sale at San Diego Comic-Con and then on a website as well for whatever's left, apparently. So I definitely got to get 2 of those, I do think. So it's coming up bloody. It's going to be a massacre at the San Diego Comic-Con. But then you know what Rob Halford always says.
Message from Rob Halford of Judas Priest.
Step on the red, cross on the green, never take a ride in a stranger's machine, and always make sure you're burning on turbo.
We're burning with turbo power into the next segment here. As we move away from wrestling, we move into everything else. And a ton of news this week as well. San Diego Comic-Con exclusives gearing up, of course, across the board. But San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Super 7 G.I. Joe Ultimate Editions coming out of left field a little bit. We saw this Zartan before. It's basically a re-release of Zartan. He's got the robe. Reminds you of course, that cartoon episode where he's hiding, he's charming a snake there. I'm a bit of a snake charmer myself, as you guys do know. Song and dance band as well. But a cloaked Zartan, one of those ones you don't have to have, but it does look pretty cool. I'll be picking that up in San Diego for sure. So Zartan coming to that. We also saw Cobra Mortal. What the heck is a Cobra Mortal? I don't even know what that is. I guess it was an Argentinian release back in the day. Shout out to Argentina, one of the great places of all time. Give me the Argentina Steakhouse. I'm ready for that. But I don't even know Cobra Mortal, and I'm pretty deep in the weeds in the Joes. But it is cool. It is a perfect exclusive. I think this would murder Super 7's finances if this was a straight release. However, a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, this works. This is the kind of stuff that's a perfect exclusive there. I'm going to pick it up, maybe under protest. We'll see, but I'm going to find out what all the fuss is about. And I know nothing of this character, so it'll be interesting to see where that goes. But 2 Ultimate G.I. Joes at San Diego this week. Also announced this week, San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, 5 points of articulation, Conan the Barbarian Bloody Edition. This one I was off. I said, no, I'm not going to get it. Then I said, you know what? It would be cool to have Arnold mixed in with my He-Man, guys. So I'm on the fence, but I'll probably pick this up at San Diego Comic-Con as well. And we're going to get regular editions of that in the future. Of course, it's the 5 points of articulation style, which brings us to, of course, the on-again, off-again Glenn Danzig. Very crazy old Glenn Danzig, as we know. Good friend of the channel, Night Demon's own Jarvis Leatherby, when he was in town a while back, he told me the most insane story about Glenn Danzig I've ever heard in my life. I'm not going to share that here, but man, guy is a little bit crazy from time to time, and sometimes he feels like he's allergic to money, not just in action figures, but also into the music business and things like that. He's definitely a kooky character. There's no doubt about it, but I love some Danzig going back to when I was a little kid. But we are getting Misfit style, of course, featuring Glenn Danzig, Jerry only, Misfit style figures coming. We also get Danzig by himself, and we get Sam Hain, of course, his other band, or one of his other bands. We got Sam Hain Bloody Edition coming. I feel like I need to buy all these. I'm a little bit on the fence, but we'll see. Maybe you can put them with your superstars, put that Jerry only with your WWF superstars. You can kind of recreate that a little bit from his time in WCW. I don't know, but man, Misfits wilding out. Of course, the on-again, off-again relationship. We saw those for the first time at San Diego Comic-Con 2023. Sounds like they're going to come out early 2025. So get your order in. Big Bad Toy Store. Hit the link in the description below. Support the channel. Hit that up. Or go to Super 7's own website. Put in code KyleP at checkout at Super 7. Support the channel. But we're not done with Super 7. 2 more Ultimates this week. Conan the Barbarian, Kull the Conqueror, animated cartoon comic editions, I guess we'll call it there. We got 2 of those to fit in with your prior Conan stuff, or your prior, you know, if you want to. Mix it in however you want to there. Once again, I'm kind of on the fence. It's kind of like the Mars Attacks that came out a while back. I really wanted those, not sure. Kind of on the fence. Maybe pick up one. I don't know, but I'm also leery of Super 7 these days, as they aren't ordering the same quantities. We saw with the latest Thundercat wave. In and out pretty quick, so a lot of this stuff selling out fairly quick. You got to be careful. I think the days of getting $20 Super 7 Ultimates around Christmas time, I just don't see it happening this year. Prove me wrong. We'll see what happens there. But if you're on the fence on some of this stuff, you better be careful, or choose your consequences is what it will be. So who knows? We got Kull, we got Conan, and that's it for Super 7 stuff. And a little other housekeeping this week. We did see Cosmic Legions. Once again, Big Bad Toy Store. Hit the link in the description below. I think this sale is going to move me in a Cosmic Legion direction. We've unboxed a few on the channel, a few more to come. Also some Mythic Legions. We even unboxed a Mythic Legion on YouTube, Kyle Peterson 2.0 this week. I think that might be the place where Mythic and Cosmic Legions live. We'll see what ends up happening there. So many videos, so little time is what it is. But 20% off all Cosmic Legions right now might be a good chance to dip your toe in the water, see what all the fuss is about, and find out if there's fuss after all. I've liked the big figures. I think I'm going to dabble. I'm going to go to Big Bad. I'm going to use my own link, of course, and I'm going to pick up some of these Cosmic Legions. So more on that in the channel maybe in the next couple of weeks. We'll see what happens there. But 20% off doesn't happen a lot as far as Mythic Legions, Big Bad Toy Store, things like that. And it sounds like it's everywhere that sells Cosmic Legions are giving the 20% off. So make note of that if that is your thing, but it could be a chance to dabble, find out what all the fuss is about. So head over to Big Bad Toy Store. And now we get a little leak action, and we got a few leaks, and we're going to talk about that later. We're not only leaking McFarlane stuff, like you leaked all the flames at the old fireworks show. I guess it was Mark Summers. I get it. But we got some leak stuff coming out around the interwebs right now. We thought it would never happen, but in-hand images from China, imagine more at San Diego Comic-Con, NECA, Tatsu from the movie edition. We didn't think we were ever going to get a Tatsu figure. Well, the time has apparently come. And at the end of the day, you got to follow the money. It's old cash and creative, as they always say. Everybody's got a price for the $1 Million Man, as we do know, but also their own business. They want it out there. And Tatsu, I think, holding out for more money. What a shrewd businessman. Like a young Todd McFarlane from the couch. But we are getting Tatsu. So if you're into Tatsu, man, it's coming. It's coming. Have to imagine more in a couple of weeks, San Diego Comic-Con. Some bad news this week. Terrible news. Not really, but a lot of people pretty upset. Man, the Joe base gets upset about a lot of things. I know, I understand not all figures are perfect, but man, there's a lot of people that feel like, and I guess you could say this for any action figure fandom or really any kind of fandom, there's a lot of people that love the stuff, but man, all they do is complain about it. You got to vote with your wallet. If you don't like what you see, you don't like what's going on, cash out, get out of it. Don't support it. But a lot of fans upset with G.I. Joe about the Dragonfly being delayed till December. Nobody likes the delay. Nobody likes people sitting on your money. I get that. I absolutely hate it as well. But at the same time, you want it to be good. You want it to be a quality. I think everybody would absolutely lose their mind, including me, if I had to unbox that Dragonfly here at the table and the propeller broke or doesn't spin or something. It's on everybody's. That's an absolute disaster waiting to happen. Not sure of the delay, not sure of the reason why, but it is what it is. And maybe for me, I'm not so worked up, or maybe others are worked up, because I haven't figured out a place for it yet, and I'm behind in my action figure collection, getting it organized where I want it to be. So it buys me a little bit more time, which is a weird deal. And what is time after all? And we're going to find out about time in a little bit, McFarlane. A little Easter egg to a little announcement here. But I don't know. I'm okay with it this instance, and this is because of personal reasons. But I get it. If you're sitting here waiting, you got that spot all cleared out, you got those spotlights coming down on it, you're all excited, and then it gets pulled, the rug gets pulled out from under you. I totally get it. So not good news, that's for sure. It is what it is at this point, though. There's nothing going on. And it sounds like the next HasLab announced, of course, at San Diego Comic-Con, so stay tuned for that. Gonna go through a little Valaverse. I guess we're in the G.I. Joe type mood here. Valaverse, of course. We saw the, what was that? The Georgia G.I. Joe show, of course, a couple of weeks ago. Was it 2 weeks ago now? What is time once again? But they did have a video up on their website, on their YouTube channel. The Vanguard, there's going to be some add-ons for that Vanguard vehicle. So if you're into the Vanguard, you can get some add-ons there. Very cool, doing like a breast cancer awareness. Limited to only 50 versions of the Vanguard in the bright pink. Probably not going to be for me, but I thought that looked really cool. And then there's going to be a pink Steel Brigade figure as well, limited edition. Not all the proceeds, but a big chunk of it is going to go to cancer awareness. So I think that's a pretty good deed right there. Very cool if you're deep in the weeds in the Valaverse line. We also saw the white and black version of Pandora. Pandora? Who's Pandora? Pandora. Probably the crowning achievement from the Valaverse so far. An amazing, amazing figure. Definitely worth picking up if you're on the fence for your Valaverse. Pandora figure is pretty much the place to start. 2 more versions of her coming. We also saw some vac metal helmets. We saw an upcoming Swarm vehicle in the future. Getting into more vehicles there. Big Bad Toy Store exclusive Senshi Night Ops. So we got a lot of stuff coming from the Valaverse, as we do know, as that line continues to grow and grow and grow. Head packs, you name it. It's all over there at the Valaverse, so check them out if that is your thing. We also got a little re-release from Hasbro this week. I guess officially going up for pre-order next week, it sounds like. It is Magic, the former Walgreens exclusive, like 3 years ago, something like that. We are getting an updated re-release. Sounds like it'll be on Hasbro Pulse next week. So if you missed out Magic the first time, Magic's going to be back. Everybody loves Magic. There it is. But now we're going to close it off with a little Todd McFarlane from the Couch Talk. Todd, don't get too worked up at me here. There's a lot of stuff flying around the interwebs of some leaks, so we're going to talk about a little bit of that. But first off, we did see those statue figures. Sounds like 6-7-inch scale figures. Statues, I should say, but they look kind of like figures, whatever you want to call them. We did see Spider-Man, we did see Captain America, so McFarlane getting into all the properties. Give me all the properties, what Todd says. He wants every single one of them. We saw those this week. But we also saw some crazy stuff, and at least as the time I'm filming this video, it hasn't officially been released yet. But we did see an Adam West Batman, DC Multiverse McFarlane, and that one blew my mind. I was always for that, and I'm also for the superpowers. Can we get the Kenner superpowers? Can we get all those in their own line? But this Adam West, oh my gosh, and I don't think this is going to be a standalone. You're going to get Robin, Joker, Penguin. We're going to get everybody, you have to imagine. As the steam is running out on the Batman Adam West collection, the Target ones, whatever you want to call them, I think they're going to move into this scale, which really makes me mad because I feel like now I'm like looking back, do I want those old ones? Do I want to just get rid of all those and just collect these now? Messing with my head from the couch, Todd. Messing with my head, but this Adam West is a must-have for me. That is my Batman. As a little kid, that was on reruns all the time, so that was what I was accustomed to with Batman as a little kid. So I got to pick that one up. We also saw an old school version of Red Hood, a very old school version, looking very, very nice. We see that is coming. And then we got What Is Time itself. What is Time? This could be the Kyle Peterson action figure. I could pop the head off, put mine on there. It could be What Is Time, man. But it is Clock King, and we got a regular and platinum edition of this one. As of right now, that's been officially solicited by the McFarlane team over there, straight from the couch. I saw him post it. He goes, I'm going live, right on his iPad, right over there. He did that, and Mark Summers double dared him. That's how he ended up doing it. So it was a wild time. We also saw Agent Liberty. He's going to have a regular and a Chase edition, platinum edition. as well right there. And then we saw Ragman. I don't know who Ragman is, but it's an interesting, he was built out of rags, old shop rags, and they put him together. I don't know anything about this, but I do love that about the DC line. I was always a Marvel kid for the most part. So a lot of these deep cut DC characters, I'm learning along the way with the action figures. A lot like the Toy Biz days, I learned a lot about Marvel Legends. I collect comics, so you can't know everything, but through the action figures, you got a better understanding of a lot of characters. Always thought that was fun. I'm having a lot of fun with that in the DC McFarlane stuff right now. The majority of that, of course, over on Kyle Peterson 2.0 for those keeping track at home. But we got Ragman coming. We also saw a digital version, Wonder Woman digital, part of that digital line. A lot of people going to be getting this Wonder Woman figure. Just an amazing looking Wonder Woman. Here for that all day long. And twice on Sunday, Todd McFarlane, shout out there. And then finally, we got the old Platinum Flash Batman. Platinum Flash Batman. Don't know if I need this one. I still haven't seen that movie yet. Got to get around to that hopefully sooner rather than later. So there it is. That's the Toy News Man, an extra long video here, and the video isn't done yet as we got to turn our attention to the album of the week. All right, album of the week time, and this week in honor of 4th of July, we got 2 albums. Yes, I listed 2 albums this week. I listed more than that, but these are the 2 that are going to be the album of the week this week. First off, Johnny Cash. Shout out to Johnny Cash. New album, songwriter. It's his first new album in a long time. Well, he's been passed away, so it should be. But they must have found somewhere along the way some unhidden gems. And I don't know if you can go gems, but it is a new Johnny Cash album of new released music, which is pretty cool. Really feels like early 80s Johnny Cash, which is not for everybody, as we do know. But I love the early 80s Johnny Cash stuff. Give me the Chicken, that Chicken song, Chicken in Black. Oh my gosh, sign me up all day long. But we did get that from songwriter. An interesting album. It's not going to set your world on fire, but it's really cool to hear some of this Johnny Cash stuff. And it's crazy. What is old is new again, as we heard from Shooter Jennings over not 4th of July, Father's Day weekend. Get my holidays mixed up. Then we got new Waylon stuff coming. He found a treasure trove of Waylon stuff from the 70s, even apparently an unreleased album. Can't wait to see that in the future. I'm here for all of that. But then the other album this week, Nell Ora Blue. Nobody's going to know what I'm saying here. It is Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats, a band that's been around for quite some time, a deep cut band if there ever was one, of course. And this one was really interesting. It's worth a listen once. Reminds me a lot of Mike Patton, of course, Mr. Bungle, Faith No More fame. He's got a lot of avant-garde side projects. That's what this feels like to me. But what they did is they made a soundtrack to an Italian horror movie, which then put me down the rabbit hole this week, and I started watching a bunch of Fulci movies. Oh my gosh, anybody want to watch Zombie with me? I did watch The Beyond. Anybody ever seen The Beyond? Oh, spooky stuff. But I've been watching Fulci movies. You know me, I love my crazy movies. I don't watch Top Gun, I don't watch Tom Cruise movies, but I watch deep cut horror movies, creepy movies from Italy. That's where I go. That's where I go. But I watched the Fulci, I watched The Beyond this week because that Nell Ora Blue Uncle Acid album, which was paying homage. Oh, don't start McFarlane homage, I know. He was paying tribute to the Italian movies of yesteryear, which have amazing scores, amazing soundtracks to them. So if you're into that kind of thing, check out a little Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats. Check out a Fulci movie while you're at it. Oh, you'll thank me later. You'll thank me later. But there it is, albums of the week. But that's it for the toy news. Anything excited you guys? This is a long video here. There's a lot going on. But let me know what excited you this week. Hopefully y'all had a good 4th of July. Hopefully everybody survived with fingers intact. Hopefully you didn't have a McFarlane Mark Summers incident in your backyard, anything like that. But let me know your thoughts on what you're excited for San Diego Comic-Con, toy news, etc. Of course, don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. The march to 50,000 subscribers, it marches on. Tell a friend. Tell a friend. There it is. Check out the Patreon. Talked about that at the top of the show. Check it out. Link in the description down below. Pro Wrestling Tees. Search Kyle Peterson. Don't forget social media. Sir Paul64 on the X. The _Kyle_Peterson on Threads. And on Instagram. So for another toy news of the week, you know what I'm doing? I'm rocking and rolling, strutting and strolling into another weekend.